the next mistake that we often see has to do with content. And this is something, you know, a lot of people have different ideas for how they should structure their bullets, but the biggest mistake that I see is that candidates describe their responsibilities instead of their actual measurable impact. And when that happens, um, that can make it really hard for me to actually know what you've actually done. And that can be uh, kind of frustrating to me as I'm reviewing them because I'm like, okay, I know that they, led stakeholder engagements, but I don't know with whom or how many or what the impact actually was. And so you'll need to actually detail that out. We recommend strongly that you use this CAR format. And that allows you to see uh, context, action, and result. Um, what we don't want to see, honestly, is when people like I get these resumes all the time, and people have these like generic, bullet points, and it really looks like you just copied and pasted the job description from like the LinkedIn job posting from when you initially were applying for the job. So just be careful with this, but I'll break this down. So context does two things. It first frames the story, and it's also usually where the first number lies. So, for example, you might say something like led 6-person team. That tells me right off the bat that you're leading a team, and hey, there's a number at six people. The actions obviously are what you specifically did. So I want to know, did you interview experts or did you analyze data? I want to know specifically what you did. And then ultimately, I want to know what the result is. A lot of people forget to include this, and this is actually very important because it tells me what the business consequence is. What impact did you as an individual have on the actual company? So it's pretty general just to say, hey, I identified cost opportunities. Okay, great. I think that applies to anyone who would have done the job, but what did you specifically accomplish? And so the results can be something like a decision that got made. It can be, costs were reduced by 20%, or it could be sales increased by $5 million. You want to think about what makes the most sense to include. Sometimes that's a percentage, sometimes that's an absolute number. But that result really allows me to see the ultimate impact. We also very strongly recommend that you include a number for every line. Two reasons for this. One, as I mentioned, it tells me the measurable impact of your work, but it also makes it a lot easier for me as a reviewer to read your resume, because if you just have blocks of text with no numbers in it, it can be overwhelming for me to read. The numbers kind of help break up the text a little bit, so it's much easier to digest. But here's an example of a bullet point that I've seen before and how you could potentially change it. So I might see a bullet point that says, created a career coaching program. Okay, that's great. I don't really know what that means. What did you specifically do? Did you make training slides? Did you meet with people? And I don't know what the outcome is. And so a way to make this a lot stronger is saying, created career coaching program for 25 students by scheduling monthly one-on-one mentorship sessions and hosting 4 group sessions, resulting in 24 job offers. So now I know the context, which is there was a career coaching um, program that you created. I now understand that you did this by scheduling these mentorship sessions, and I know that you did group training sessions. So that's great. And then ultimately, there were 24 job offers. That indicates that there was success there with the program.